Pain is your reward for being near them. Fate won't be your friend when they're around. Blame them for the tragedies that follow. Grave the situations that surround. These men are cursed with canon bad luck, but which has it worse? Bennett, the Wheel of Calamity. Qrow Branwen, the Harbinger of Misfortune. In a world plagued by soulless monsters of pure evil, there's a school for teaching kids to protect the world from devastation. Qrow Branwen was one such student. His bandit parents named him after the bird due to the misfortune that followed in his wake. Eventually, he learned to somewhat weaponize this power, known as a semblance. To explain, a semblance is a pseudo-magical ability that is usually a manifestation of the user's soul to save its life in times of great need.
Oh, struck by lightning, didn't die. Crazy Thursday.
Qrow's is always activated. His team, Stark, fell apart due to severe angst and relationship drama. When we meet him at the aptly named Qrow Bar, the bartender breaks the glass he spent the whole episode polishing. When he drunkenly challenges his colleague to a public duel, a villain who knows his face happens to witness him, and this may have been part of Qrow's plan. Reporting in to his Illuminati-adjacent cabal, he learns why they stopped communicating with him. They had a foolish misunderstanding. His frenemy Ironwood, in that meeting, gets his scroll hacked. With the meeting concluded, he visits the result of the relationship drama and plays video games with them. They continually lose, even when Qrow isn't watching the screen. It could be bad luck, or he's just a god gamer. He's definitely got the posture of one. When a very important person is in danger, he made it just a few seconds late to the party, resulting in her actual magic being half stolen. He also didn't get a good look at the villains' faces before they were obscured by illusions. In another battle, Ironwood once again misunderstands Qrow when he somehow failed his perception check and missed the griffin barreling down on him. In a brief moment of good luck, a flirtatious waitress brings him the good whiskey for free. In a predictable turn of events, she winds up dropping the next good whiskey and was likely traumatized by Qrow's twin sister Raven. She got the normal name. Fighting's back on the menu, and this time he gets disarmed. His opponent, though, is distracted by butterflies or something and completely forgot about the haymaker coming his way. VTuber Mimcubus then lands on a weak beam and falls on their ass. This repeats itself when VTuber Ruby Rose shows up to help. Qrow saves her, but gets stabbed by the Scorpion, who loses his stinger in the process. Bad luck combo! Once he finishes his campfire exposition session, said campfire falls apart. That scorpion sting is getting pretty bad, seeing as doctors typically aren't found in the middle of nowhere. What is found is a fork in the road between a rough mountain pass and boss monster hunting grounds. His stretcher has to go to the latter. In a rare stroke of good luck, the monster's death smoke alerts a patrol ship and gets Qrow rescued. As a side note, Qrow was sitting very far away from the fight when this happened. Once he's out of the hospital, he goes to meet another Illuminati member who's been suspiciously quiet. He opens his office door and they both trip on their asses. Qrow never fills in the dots and tells the obvious traitor some pretty crucial information that will absolutely come back to bite him. When his dead boss comes back in preteen form, Qrow is too drunk to make the Protag squad not suspicious of him. Kids were about ready to stab the poor boy. Qrow pays for his sins by falling off a couch and breaking the coffee table. Oscar follows suit, but there was only one table. Current objective: find professional monster hunters. Current progress: nearly being murdered by a very unhappy chef. Also, all of the huntsmen are dead. All of them. Ruby is so shocked she drops a tray of freshly brewed tea. This may sound weird, but Yang Xiaolong is racist against birds. In a callback to his favorite niece, Qrow drops his cocktail. This time, the shock was a surprise grim attack on his train. They kill them, but the Sphinx's dying fire breath derails them. In the aftermath, Best Boy lost his magical MacGuffin. His inner old man tries to get it back, but his youth rebels and allows the sexier Robin Williams to spill the beans. After learning the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, Qrow punches a child and tells him,
"Meeting you was the worst luck of my life." Maybe you're right.
A blizzard's rolling in, and the only shelter our heroes find is a bit corpsey. It's currently infested with monsters called apathy that deal psychic damage. Unluckily, Qrow is quick to succumb to their influence and the sweet allure of liquor. While trying to leave, they pop a tire. In the midst of creeping depression, Ruby drops the MacGuffin down a well. When they go into the grim dark, they're chased to the cellar doors, but
They're locked! They're locked!
Ruby has had enough of this shit and sobers up Qrow, who also gets to meet his elderly idol. As if that wasn't happy enough, they arrived at their destination without any further problems. The moment they arrive, Best Boy gets brutally glomped by a fangirl. Arriving at a home to stay in, the homeowner asks Qrow the hard question. Why are you endangering minors? Ignoring that, the crew heads to the nearby military base because of plot reasons. They get completely stonewalled by the Dumbass Brigade. As it turns out, their new grandma is on the no-fly list, and the commanding officer's more than a bit racist against cats. Qrow is later found passed out on some stairs, and Oscar gets glomped by a whole pack of fans. In the ensuing battle against the racist, Qrow rescues a kid just in the nick of time and finds the world's most obvious weak point. After an airborne tumble, Ruby barely misses the cliff of safety, and Qrow seemingly hurts his arm in the fall. Slightly later, the team is a few seconds too late to stop a kaiju from attacking the city, when Grandma points out an unforgettable sight. Her robot eye breaks. At the iBot doctor's office, the ceiling falls apart. After leaving, the whole crew is captured by some special forces. Either they got unlucky, or their assailants had their leader's good luck. Qrow learns about this semblance the hard way, when he slips on some ice and is caught by Clover. The party's so large at this point they need a truck to move around, and an up-and-coming politician is standing in the middle of the road. Later, while she helps them fight, Mimkibus is back and catches her bolt with his teeth.
Yay! Like a doggy! Ow! Ow! Ow!
The bolt then explodes, knocking them out. While transporting the prisoner, Qrow gets a phone call about a military dictatorship from his now ex-friend Just Enemy. This call is while Qrow is sitting no less than 5 feet away from the head of the secret police. A stray shot in the ensuing chaos releases Mimkibus, who crashes their airplane and murders Clover. The kill was with Qrow's weapon, framing him for the crime. To be fair, Qrow lost all of his brain cells in the crash. Now in prison, Qrow is forced to listen to 3 of the most talkative morons in the country bicker like there's no tomorrow. Turns out they were onto something there, as Qrow's cell explodes. He managed to escape into the other bird-named prisoner's cell, where the roof collapses. With their good luck charm dead, the birds managed to capture the remaining Aesops. Or they would have if not for the unfortunate timing of a hacked robot using self-destruct. It was super effective, but only on the floor, as a bomber carrying a nuke slides toward the open hangar door. Takano Jutsu works on the Aesops, but then the nuke is remote-armed, killing one of them and traumatizing the rest. He is known by many names. the leader of Benny's adventure team, the only member of Benny's adventure team. Oh gods, it's Bennett. His life started as few others do, placed as an infant at the end of the most deadly dungeon on the continent. His first dad rescued him, but succumbed to his injuries shortly after making it back to the Monsad Adventurers Guild. The boy was then adopted by all the men of the guild, giving him many birthdays to remember. However, despite his age, he's had very few birthdays of his own, for he was born on a leap day. Bennett often gets hit in the head by falling rocks from nowhere. He slips off cliffs, collapses caves with his presence, and only finds treasure chests full of vegetables and pocket change. According to him, he has to relocate his joints almost daily. Even monster attacks are more frequent when Bennett is traveling. One time, he cleared a dungeon, was badly injured, and was in the process of bleeding to death when he opened his reward. Nothing. It was empty. It was at that time Bennett passed out, and he awoke to find himself saved by the elemental focus known as a vision that was gifted to him in his sleep. And that's a recurring trend that Bennett himself has noticed and utilizes in dire times. His bad luck is only active while he's conscious. The moment he's asleep, the surrounding luck is restored to its previous levels. That's him solo. But how do the former members of Benny's adventure team handle it? You may have figured out the answer when I said the word former. Heckler got food poisoning. Jack nearly died when the ground tried to swallow him. Royce got the worst of it when he got food poisoning, was struck by lightning, and caught a stray bomb to the face, as well as being locked in a dungeon he had just unlocked. Poor guy. This doesn't just apply to randos either. The Traveler, protagonist of the world, also briefly joined the team. They wound up locked in a dungeon, stuck waiting for half a day due to a very incorrect advertisement, and found some notorious cabbage chests. Going back to shopping, every item he searches for either doesn't exist or is completely sold out. Even when he orders a shipment from abroad, a one-of-a-kind hand-drawn map from his hero, the cart carrying it falls into a puddle, and only Bennett's shipment is damaged. In fact, everything was completely fine, other than the map being destroyed. It's fine, though. Bennett will just go for a nature walk. When he tries to show the Traveler a sea of dandelions he found, they all shed their seeds before the duo arrives. Never mind that, it's time for some scenic gliding on this beautiful sunny day that is suddenly experiencing a typhoon. Oh, and Bennett's dads need him to help with their achy joints. The very moment Bennett leaves, the sunny weather returns. This sort of drastic change in conditions happens all the time with him. He's been hit on the head by trees that suddenly fall, blasted by Klee's bombs detonating way too early, been thrown high into the sky by a tornado, and almost died from asphyxiation while eating a sandwich. When he's around, Wolf Tarzan's hunts fail, and the duo even got trapped together by an ancient mechanism, only freed when the Traveler found them. Something similar happened while Bennett was on his way to train new adventurers. Some snow fell off a tree, but it somehow had rocks in it. They landed on his head, which caused him to stumble into a Spetsnaz camp and right into their cage. He later travels with two accomplished knights, one of which being the reconnaissance captain, known for quick and decisive actions and navigation. The trio got lost for multiple days on a snowy mountain, being turned around by landslides, collapsing cliffs, snowstorms, and more falling rocks. The world seems to really like that last one. The next day, Bennett is caught in an avalanche while walking across a rickety bridge, taking a bad fall. This wasn't entirely his luck though, as it was an assassination attempt on the other person crossing the bridge. It's just his luck he was standing next to the guy with a target on his back. He's used to the pain though, as everything down to his own fighting style hurts him. Don't worry, he can heal himself and his allies! Although he can only heal up to 70% of anyone's maximum health. There's gotta be some kind of light in the dark here, right? Kind of. Bennett believes that a good death is one spent chasing prestige and treasure. That's why he believes it would be lucky to die while adventuring. This is also likely why the world itself seems to antagonize him just shy of actual death. Oh, and Qrow really likes Bennett. He's the best. She finds way more treasure than usual when he's around. He still has good friends like Qrow, Fischl, and the Traveler, and to quote him, "Well, since everyone's by my side, I guess I'm not that unlucky after all." Oh, and his final constellation, the last upgrade he can get, is terrible. It's time to set the rules for this Unluck Showdown. Both will open treasure chests until one of them encounters a mimic. Ready, set, god damn it. Yeah. After all that, was there any doubt? The most poor, unfortunate soul is Bennett. So, this was a bit more one-sided than I anticipated. To make up for that, I'm posting a poll on Discord, link in the description below, when this video goes live. The winner will be the next match I cover. Or you could watch the closer matches. I'm not your dad. I also have memberships if you want to get these videos early. Until then, have a good one.